Alright guys, welcome back to the stream. Once again, I'm Dean, I'm going to be your caster for this matchup, and it's the second match of the day. Of course, we had a Danish derby to start off between North and Fragsters, and that was a pretty one-sided affair. But coming into this one, I'm expecting a much closer game, and once again, it is a battle of two national teams. It's the battle between the Kazakhs. It's Gambit up against Avangar, and this is a game I'm really excited for. I'm looking forward to seeing what Avangar can do with Fitch, because they've had him for quite a while. They've been playing fairly well since they brought him in. And of course, Gambit as well, rather. Since they've brought in Mir, they've also been looking pretty good. But I think this map pool is actually kind of interesting. Starting off on Cash, then it's Overpass and Train, I believe. Cash, I think, Gambit, starting off on the CT side, they did just struggle up against Valiance a few minutes ago. Wasn't able to watch it, of course, because I was casting the North versus Fragsters game. But they did struggle on that CT side specifically. Ended up pulling it back and taking it into overtime, so we know Cash is a strong map for them. And they even won it out in overtime, of course, as well. But I think Cash is a map here that they do need, because I think Overpass and Train are just a little bit stronger for Avangar. I was having a look at their kind of histories as well. And even when they previously played each other, Avangar have tended to come out on top, which is a little bit surprising to me, I suppose. But Gambit, of course, ever since that major win, they dropped off massively. But I think this roster here now they have with Mir, it's the strongest they've had since then. Fitch versus Gambit. Yeah, when we came into the server, all the Avangar guys were over on the T side, and Fitch was over on the CT side with some of the Gambit players. I was like, oh, throwbacks. But here we go, into the action, getting live with the first pistol round of the series, and this is going to be an awesome one. Flipside logo production value. No, that's not on my end. It's an ESEA server, so because he played for Flipside, the logo's like saved until the next season or something. I don't know how it works exactly. But here we go. That's why Mir doesn't have a logo either. But anyway, quick play looking to come in from Avangar. Just a contact play over towards that A-bomb site. As it's a little bit of a stack from Gambit. Not completely playing retake. They do have a couple players back over towards the truck. But as we can see, there is also a few players on the actual bomb site itself. And so far going really well for Gambit. They have managed to find themselves a quick one-man advantage with a 3-for-2 trade. And Hobbit with a quick headshot on towards James. Brings it all down to Kickard, who's not looking too healthy either. His head has been spotted. He's been tapped at. And with 3 players to try and find, I don't think he gets too much done here. But there we go. Gets the first kill. Has to reload and will be pushed down in the process by Dojiet. As it's a quick 1-0 start for Gambit. Blade is the coach. Yeah, Blade is the coach. But it was the fact that he had a Flipside logo. He still does. I don't know if that's his logo on Steam or not. I'll have a quick check, guys. I'll let you know. Yeah, he still has the Flipside logo on Steam. That's actually why. This is on ESEA servers though, but I think that's only for the Pro League that the logos are like embedded in. Isn't Blade always the coach for Gambit Esports? He only recently joined up with them. Before that, he played for Flipside, of course, as their in-game leader. I think people have been calling for him to kind of step back into a coaching role for a long time, because I believe it was Hellraisers that he coached during a major back in, I think it may have been 2015. Can we have the radar bigger? That's CR_radar scale, right? That doesn't seem to work on this new UI. Yeah, see? Not getting bigger. I think it's just the new UI. It doesn't work on it. It's strange. Yeah, I think it is scale, right? Yeah. The icon scale is down though. Alright, turn up the icon scale. He was loaned. Okay, yeah, he was only loaned, so that's why he'd still have the Flipside logo on. Yeah, sorry, Nikitka. I can't put the radar bigger for some reason on this new UI. Oh, shit! Hang on, I just realized I forgot to update the thing in the corner of the screen. The score. Let me fix that while we have a pause. I also forgot to update the thing, did I? No English for the North match. There actually is. Just remove the B from this stream if you want to head over to the main stream. I don't know why, but it's not on HLTV. No idea why. Alright, there we go, guys. I fixed the thing up the top. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you want to go to the mainstream, just that's where the North versus Ents game is, guys. It's just, for some reason, it wasn't put on HLTV. Hopefully that'll be put up soon. Who paused the match? I didn't actually get the info about that, but I presume it was a technical pause being this early. As we can see, Avangar, they didn't manage to get that bomb planted, so they do just go straight into a force buy. Pistols and Kevlar, and also a bit of utility. Only James keeps money because he, of course, wants to go towards that op as early as he can. Is the MP5 now available for comp? Yeah, it's available on everything except for matchmaking, basically. I don't think FACEA have enabled it, though. I think it's enabled by default on everything. It's just that Valve turned it off on matchmaking for kind of beta testing purposes. They didn't want another revolver scenario. A very slow round from Avangar, though. Need to get a move on soon, of course. Only 40 seconds remaining. And it looks like they are going to make their way onto the A-bomb site again. But, of course, 3 players already in position from Gambit. Mir goes 1 for 1 as it's a Dren who falls to Crizzen in return. But time beginning to become a bit of a problem now. And with that smoke going down, things get even more difficult. There's actually a pretty big gap to work with. Sadly, that goes the other way as well, of course. Mir has the sight on towards the feet of Buster and is able to claim himself a quick frag. As it's all on Fitch now. 1v4 up against his former teammates, 10 seconds remaining. And he probably just wants to die before time runs out so he gets the money. And that's exactly what happens. If he had lived there, sure, he would have brought over a Deagle and Kevlar, but that meant he wouldn't have gotten any loss bonus. And then into the first gun round when his teammates were buying, he wouldn't have been able to. No problem, Malachi. $999 rounds. Yeah, that's just an ESEA thing. I don't know what's up with that on their servers. It's because of how they handle it, doing like the manual swap over and stuff. I don't know. Well, it's automatic, but they do it in a weird way where the game kind of like ends for a second, resets scoreboard and all. Strange. But full eco coming in from Avangar. Wouldn't expect them to really find too much as they just continue to pressure towards this A-bomb site. And as we've seen in those previous 2 rounds, it's all going in favor of Gambit. Dren coming in to close it out. Gets himself a quick 3k. 2 of them with the MP9. So a nice little bit of money being built up. Don't know why I elongated that M so much. Money. Here we go. First gun round. James gets the op, as I said. He was saving towards that one. And Gambit do actually go ahead and keep themselves a couple of SMGs. And also a FAMAS on the mirror. So a bit of a bonus round being brought into this one from Gambit. If they lose it, they can still, of course, reinvest into this next round, get the full buyout, everything they want. And if they win it, then, of course, they go ahead and get themselves in a position where they didn't have to upgrade weapons. They kept extra money. They build up loads and also likely get to pick up some free AKs off of the bodies of Avangar. So one of those bonus rounds. I believe Sadicus used to call it a Jaden round. Yeah, I'm not sure what that pause was about either. Sadly, I don't have any info being fed to me at the moment. I think the production are a little bit more focused on the main game at the moment. Oh, not the production, the admin team, rather. I am streaming this from home, so. But already, James trying to peek up over the boost. Takes a lot of damage from the molly. And Crizzen also takes a small amount as he's down to 81. You may not think that's a big deal, but that makes him a little bit easier to take down for those SMGs. Kazakh Derby. I was trying to think of something when I was tweeting out. I just went with the Battle of the Kazakhs instead. I was like, is there anything that starts with a K that also means like kind of like a war or a fight? And I couldn't think of anything. One of you guys will probably show me up now and tell me a word in the chat, and I will totally steal it for the future. But here we go. Avangar, once again, playing a pretty slow round. Just over a minute remaining, as no frags are yet to be found by either side. Just some damage put in. Dojia and James being on the receiving ends mostly. That could have been dangerous right there. Oh, Dren playing up close on mid. Being gifted a kill from Finch right there. Or from Fitch, rather. And that should be a rifle he can go ahead and retrieve for himself. He does indeed. Upgrades to an AK. The man advantage now, Avangar. What are they going to do? They're down into a 4-on-5. They have to make a decision soon about where they actually want to bring this one. The bomb for now being mostly favored towards B, left in towards the useless room. As it looks like they're probably going to make their way straight onto this B bomb site, where currently there's a pretty heavy defense coming in from Gambit. One player up close in the pit. Dojia, though, being taken down. How does Hobbit allow for that player to pass? I figured the second he spotted him out, he would have called for it. Dojia would have turned around but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a big deal. Still a simple hold, and with no time left for Krizen, he's backing off to try and save that up. Let's see if he's going to be allowed to do so. I don't think he's going to be found in time, so he should indeed at least carry it over. As it's now 4-0 for Gambit. And as I said, free weapon upgrades. They didn't have to buy anything into that previous round. They kept the SMGs. As Avangar now just going to be forced down to an eco again. Krizen haven't saved as well, doesn't have any money left in the reserve, so he's stuck onto a Glock. I don't know if anyone's going to drop him a pistol. He gave the up over the JAME at least, so... Kirby did leave Astralis, by the way, just for the guy who said he didn't. He left them like, I can't remember when it was, but it was just like right after an event or something. There we go. Just a bit of a quasi-buy coming in from Avangar around the op to try and get something done. Oh. What happened here? This on my end? Don't think this is on my end. On my end, then it's still working fine. 1 second, guys. Let me find out what's up. Hopefully it was just a quick hiccup in the GoTV. Yeah, it's been confirmed. The other casters are saying the same thing. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and quickly throw it back to the waiting screen for a few minutes, guys, just while we sort out this issue. Hopefully it won't take too long to be fixed. And then we'll get right back into the action. Throwing some music and stuff for you guys for a few minutes. I don't think it's a server issue. I think it's just a GoTV issue, so hopefully the players are still playing on and they're not having any issues.
Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history. Yeah.
I know I still need to go, but oh, I did not mean to turn that up so high, my bad. I think we should be good to go now, so I didn't even bother putting it over. Okay, maybe we aren't good to go. Someone just said they can't reconnect, and I don't think I can either. Yeah, we're probably going to have to throw it back to a break. I'll put it over the intermission and screen and stuff now, guys. So just give me a couple minutes. Hopefully we're back in ASAP and we don't miss too much of the game. Alright, we're back, guys. GoTV just started working again. I just sat in it. It eventually unfroze. We did miss a round, but it wasn't really too big of a deal. We seen Gambit claim that one. And I'm not sure how cleanly they done so, but either way, they were able to pick it up. They have a double up set up into this round, and already a man advantage. As with 40 seconds again, Avangar, similar to what we've seen in that previous gun round, go into the gun round, immediately lose a player, and then have to try and fight back into it with a man disadvantage. And Gambit, I must say, are doing a great job at holding that utility, using that when the hit finally comes in. But this time, Kickert gonna find a couple of kills at least. Gonna be able to make their way onto the bomb site, get the bomb planted. And a 2-on-3 after plant to try and hold it down as James connects the shot onto the first. Smoke's being placed as well. I believe it is a default plant, so I'm not going to be able to reposition in towards A main. As Hobbit and Doji now, surprisingly, don't have the fuse kits. Hobbit, what a shot on towards James. Doji as well, the jump shot, not quite able to find the frag, but he does a bit of damage. And of course, they know the position of the final player. And there you have it, Doji cleans it up. The secondary up to be retrieved as well. And they also found the fuse kits in the process. That was a really nice shot from Hobbit, though, to take James out of the mid-air there when he was jumping over towards quad. So, yeah, good work. 6-0 for Gambit. Avangar, closest they've taken it on a round as of yet, but it wasn't quite enough. And that goes back to the fact that if they didn't lose that one man early on, it would have been a bit of an easier position. But at least with the bomb plant coming in, Avangar, they can continue to buy. They have everything they want, and it looks like James is actually going to get run boosted over towards B. Already, I believe, haven't done so. As this time around, it looks like probably will shift their focus. Avangar are going to go ahead and try and get that mid control instead, which is something that they haven't really bothered with as of yet, surprisingly, when it is a pretty important part. Gives you the option to split towards the bomb sites. And also, of course, allows for you to slightly weaken those bomb sites themselves. Try and pull some of the defenders off to try and hold down middle. As they do indeed get that control, and a B split looking most likely right now. Hobbit alongside one other player. We're originally on B, but actually Hobbit now being left all alone gets caught completely in the open. Pushed up in B main with an up probably wasn't the greatest idea. And he just gets taken down, and that gives the B bomb site over towards Avangar. Bomb is yet to be planted, but with the smokes down, Gambit are going to have a difficult time trying to actually stop this one, but never mind. Doji burns one alive. Adren pushing through also gets the kill onto Kickert before he eventually falls. But a 2-for-1 not being bad as they actually bring it down into an equal situation in terms of the manpower. Oh, and Fitch also taking quite a lot of damage from the Molotov, but here we go. Bomb finally being planted. And there's very little utility now left for the CT side, so it's all about connecting these shots. Continuous trades just coming in back and forth, 1-for-1s, as eventually we do see Buster taking down Mir. Mo being very low health with that op, he may just want to consider saving. Probably just wants to try and back off, but it's not going to be allowed. His op has been spotted, and he's finished off by Fitch as Avangar get themselves on the board. The first round. The question is, of course, though, can they manage to chain some together now? They can't afford to get reset immediately. They've lost the loss bonus, and Gambit still have enough money to get the full buy into this round, but it's also a position where after reinvesting Gambit, they're going to have very little money left also. So if Vanguard can take this one, they should force them down to an eco. That puts them in a pretty good position to try and actually get themselves 3 rounds already on the board, which, after being down 6-0, is a pretty good recovery. Liquid play it today? I'm not sure. I think they might be in the NA one. Actually, no, I don't think so. I think Cloud9 are the North American one. But there we go. Mo and Mir already opening it up. Avangar, after having success with that mid control, just go straight back towards the direct A hit. Didn't go too well early on, but now they are successfully actually finding the returns. Kickart alongside James. They get 1 each. And right now all 6 players are on this A side of the map to try and actually duel it out. That Ned doing a little bit of damage, and Adren was still alive in towards quad, which they did not seem to notice. And it's just Avangar falling 1 by 1. Only James remains. All alone in a 1-on-3. Still has a minute at least to work with. He'll really just be relying on some mistakes being made right now from Gambit. All they have to do, of course, is play it together. They have the bomb out in the open, and they know that. And without some massive mistakes being made, I don't really think James is going to have much of an opportunity in this round, rather. But there we go, gets the first. Do anything more. Even just another kill or 2 would be nice, because, of course, the economy of Gambit not great. Some damage would be ideal. In towards the main at the moment. Sadly, not able to connect that shot there. If he took down Hobbit, he had a chance because he knew Doji was up close as well. Would have had him pinned in towards the corner. 7-1 though. As I said, that reset comes in. The economy of Avangar now in a very poor place. And they are going to have to go for an eco. Only getting $1,900 into this next round. Which means if they go for the buy, rather, it's not going to be ideal at all. And Jame actually invests quite a lot into this one, so they probably won't buy into this next round now. Buster, Kickard, and Jame, they'll all be too low to actually get out the AK and armor. So likely a double eco coming in from Avangar unless they find a bomb plant here. Looks like Avangar might go back to that mid control though, which is probably a good idea, but the problem is in this round, of course, they only have pistols. When they had the rifles, it worked out quite well. But without the ranged weaponry, just getting picked off one by one up against Mo. "3v5. Ideally, you want to find at least a few kills here. Gambit, on the other hand, rather, they want to take this as cleanly as they can. This is their chance to try and build up some economy before they're up against rifles again. If they can keep all 5 players alive in this round, then maybe in the next one as well, that would be perfect. And Mo just continues to frag. And then Jam remains, so it doesn't look like he's even really going to get anything for the investment he actually put into this round. For that CZ and Kevlar, so a $1,150 investment, and doesn't look like it's really going to be able to pay off at all. Hobbit with the MP5 for the final kill. Ooh, does get dinged down, eventually finds it with one of the final bullets in that entire magazine. As it's 8-1, and Avangar, as I said, if they buy into this round, it won't be amazing. So I'd expect them to, once again, just get some pistols. No, but here we go, actually. Buster goes straight onto the AK. Looks like they might actually invest into this. Krisen and also Fitch can get AKs. Kickert and Jam, I guess, can just go pistols and utility. So, yeah, they have an okay investment. I suppose with the current scoreline, you do need to start getting some rounds onto the board. And also Cash, of course. Not really a map that's too biased towards either side. 8-7 on a T or a CT half. Both teams would be pretty happy. But right now, it's 8-1, so Avangar. Let's see what they can recover it towards, if at all. As, again, they just seem to be focusing towards A early on. This time, not looking to try and commit, a little bit more of a default. Waiting to see if anyone got aggressive into this position. As they're just looking to try and work picks with these AKs. And also, of course, bait out that utility from Gambit, which has been a real problem for them in the latter parts of the rounds, rather. When they were committing towards the bomb sites, smokes, and also Molotovs really have been something that has really slowed them down. Good work by Fitch. Gets Edgeran eventually through the smoke. Both of them just having a bit of a wild battle back and forth. And as I said, that utility from Gamba has been really well used. They delayed that B push again, but this time they have the man disadvantage. And now they're finally running out of utility. Only a flash remaining, and there is, of course, still 45 seconds onto the clock. So this is the best it's looked for Avangar in quite a while. Looks like they're going to actually sell a bit of a B fake. Sending 3 players out a door. Already has worked quite well, as we can see. The majority of the presence for Gambit is towards B. CT, there's still one on the bomb site as well, being Hobbit. He is allowed to go ahead and find himself a quick trade, but sadly, Avangar have just walked onto the A bomb site. And Hobbit in a 1-on-3 probably doesn't want to go for it. Probably just going to save the up. Can drop that back over towards Mo. And Gambit will still have a very solid buy into this next round. Rather. Yeah, no one's going to be able to find them either, so the up being saved for Hobbit. There we go, though. Again, a position where Gambit do have the chance to just immediately break the economy of Avangar, rather. And if they do that, then they're looking at least an 11-4 half. So, crucial round for Avangar. this time they can't afford to get reset again. If they want to make this a decent half at all, bringing it up to maybe even 7 rounds, that would be ideal, of course. 5 or 6, though, would be also decent. But let's see what they can make happen. There's already a lot of pressure over towards B. We see Buster being pushed up very close, looking to try and play around the smoke, but there also is 2 CT players just on the other side of it. Getting close to him, which could be dangerous. They've actually boosted into Vent, and I don't know if they're going to be aware of this one. Hobbit gets the first kill, follows it up with a second onto Fitch. And Buster in B main, he's going to have to try and trade these back now. At least catch Hobbit off guard. A little bit of an awkward spray. Gets it in the end. But I don't think he's going to expect the second player to be up close and towards Snacks. Oh, he doesn't even have to look. He was looking at the Vent as he came around the corner. Free kill. Gets the third one in towards the spawn. And Buster really making it up for that spray that he kind of whiffed a moment ago. Takes 3 kills to open up B. And has really recovered this round now, as Mo and Mirror are going to be left in a 2v2 retake, rather. And doing so without a defuse kit is going to be a real struggle. They do at least have a little bit of utility. Smoke down towards the B main position, and Molotov onto the site to force Krizen out into the open. But he's able to back off towards the back of site instead. As Buster also has a great angle to watch that headshot push in. So good setup from the T side. We do see both CTs pushing in from the actual spawn itself. Krizen left all alone, gets the first. Sadly runs out of ammo, but as I said, no defuse kit. And Mirror is not going to be able to get it done. Picks up the op, runs away, and I think he should be able to save it over. He is indeed. So, enough being saved, but good work. Avangar get themselves another round, thanks to just that time really running down. If there was a defuse kit there, it would have been a successful retake for Gambit. But their economy in that round was kind of limited. And you can see into this one as well, not really going to be able to get the full buyout. But they're going for it, surprisingly. And it's not spectacular. 2 FAMASs, an MP9 and an MP5 to back up the op in the hands of Mo. You really hope that Gambit performs this major. Yeah, Gambit are always fun to watch. I want to see a lot more from Mirror as well. Showed what you could do in Vegas Squadron. There we go, Buster opens it up again towards B. A little bit of a gap in the smoke working against Doja as he gets taken down. You love Mirror's voice? I don't think I've ever heard Mirror's voice. Here we go. Gonna just commit straight towards B. Oh, Mo got the wall bang. Fell straight back through CT spawn, sadly, but now he has assistance from Adren. Mo gonna be able to just go ahead and pop up from the headshot, finds 3, and James will eventually trade it, but he was so close to connecting that one as well. As now, only James remains. 1 on 2, normally has the op in hands, but he's gonna have to try and pull it off with a rifle. There is an op there in B main and also one towards headshot, but in the 1 on 2, he wants to be able to get those shots off rather with a quicker succession. Walk straight onto the bomb site, and they should allow for the bomb to be planted at least. Small positive, an extra $800 per player. But Avangar still in a position where if they lose that one round, of course, their economy will be completely destroyed and they'll be forced down to a double eco. So he is currently playing for the win. As now finally the bomb will be planted, and Gambit actually going to be coming in from 2 different positions, so this could be dangerous. Hobbit though with the MP5, easy kill as he peeks in. Gets the op as well, and there is a second one towards headshot if Mirror wants to pick that one up. Have a quick look at the scoreboard. Yeah, Mo up at the top, 15-8. He's been really having a good time. He had that round in towards mid, up against the anti-eco, of course, where he got like 3. And then that previous round there as well, got 3, and that was up against the rifles. And that's really what won them that round right there. So, good work from Mo so far. Always has been an opper with a very high skill ceiling. It's more an inconsistency, really, that has been his problem. Oh, I think he actually got that spam in on towards James there. As we can see, though, there is one player who's managed to creep out mid for Avangar. And Mirror needs to be really cautious, actually, because, yeah, the second that player peeks up highway, never mind. Spins around and one taps him. James is down, but eventually Kickart returns on it. And as we can see, once again, Avangar just grouping up and looking to make a pretty early hit towards one of these bomb sites. A is going to be their target, but already Gambit are aware of this. They've rotated all their players over. 3 already in position. And there's one in Connector who has actually been spotted out. That's Hobbit. Needs to be cautious. Doesn't want to go down to Buster and give an opening. And, of course, there is still a lot of time. So Avangar, if they wanted, could really still bring this anywhere. As Gambit have gone back to a bit of a more standard setup now. That's what Avangar were hoping for. Wanted to wait until the defense was split up a little bit more, rather. Still looks like A will be their target. Crizzen knows that Mo is now towards quarter. NBK kicker just rips his head off. And now Mir on the forklift. There's so much pressure as it's kicker to double down. The A bomb site now looking weak as all the defense falls. Closest player being a truck. And Hobbit rotating in from or rather Doja rotating in from Connector. Does get a quick headshot on that UMP. But long range, going to be up against Buster and towards mid. Has to make a count. And once again, just connects a straight up headshot with the UMP. As now it's all on the Fitch. And up in hand. Not the weapon he's known for. But let's see if he can make it work as he does find the first. And he has a bit of an idea of where Hobbit may be coming from. But Hobbit has been allowed to go ahead and creep past, making his way in around the bomb site instead. But he doesn't currently have a defuse kit. Gets the kill, but I don't think he has the time for this one. 10-second music. I think it started just a moment before. And as you can see, yeah, no time to get it done. Not going to survive either. As the retake is just a little bit too slow. Another round that Avangar win out due to Gambit not having a kit in their possession. Is this live? It is indeed. As now actually Avangar, they can find 6 rounds. Look how bad this force buy is from Gambit. They take this one, and it's a similar investment then in the next round for Gambit as well. So good chance for Avangar. They can make this one count. As long as they don't once again get upset by a weaker investment. This time though, of course, Mo doesn't have the op in his possession. He has the mini op instead, a Deagle. And a very slow round from Avangar, knowing that they're probably going to be up against a bit of a weaker buy. Yeah, as the peaks come in towards mid on those pistols, not really a lot going to be found for Gambit. Mo gets that one frag on the dig, but instant trades are found, and a man advantage is put in favor of Avangar. And with the man advantage now, it's all onto... I was going to say with the man advantage for Avangar, Gambit have to try and make the aggressive plays, and that's exactly what they do. I was going to say Avangar can just hold back, make a decision soon about where they want to try and head towards. And sadly, as they're making their way on towards B now, one by one sort of gives an opportunity. Hobbit able to find Crizzen. Of course, Mir only finding the frag a moment to go in towards A main means that it was a man advantage for Avangar. No longer though as, or rather for Gambit, but no longer as we see in the jump peak not really working out in favor of Hobbit in the back of checkers. And Fitch with the final 2 kills through the smoke as well. I think I'd say some pros do have the 10-second music on. It's really handy. So, don't know why you wouldn't. Put it on low. It'll give you the idea if you have time for the defuse or not. In that position there, the Hobbit could have ran away immediately, would have saved the rifle into that previous round, and they would have had a slightly stronger buy. But because he didn't know that he didn't have the defuse, he tried to just stick it. Didn't work out. He ended up going down and being on a pistol in the next round. But as we can see, Gambit, a similar investment to the previous round into this one, as I said. Getting themselves $1,900. Buying what they can. But it's not going too well. Avangar in a good position to go ahead and take themselves a 6th round now. With a 5-on-3 in their favor. Both in terms of the manpower and also the firepower, as they have much better weaponry. And they've already walked onto B, so with the bomb being planted, this round basically over with. I don't think Gambit can really do anything. Once again, no defuse kit. 3v5 without any rifles. I wouldn't really fancy their chances, but Doja gets 2 quick kills. That was a nice flick to take down Jame. Mir also able to come in and strike towards Kickert and also retrieve himself an AK now to work with. Suddenly, this is looking a little bit more winnable. Especially with Adren taking the kill onto Fitch. How is this happening? All onto Buster now. 1v2. Only needs a single bullet to close it out. And there you have it, a 6th round for Avangar. A lot closer than you would have liked, but it doesn't matter. Final round of the half, doesn't matter how many players they lose. They get the round, that's what matters. On to 6 at half-time, really good recovery from Avangar. I believe it was, I think it was 6-0 to Gambit at one point. And then it was 7-1 after they got that reset. So great job from Avangar to somehow recover that up to 6 rounds. If they pick up the second pistol, then suddenly it's looking pretty equal, as it could be 9-9. Yeah, the 10-second warning isn't 100% correct anymore, since I believe they changed the bomb time a couple years back. It used to be like spot on, you'd know 100%, but I think it starts a little bit late now, I think. So I think there's like an extra second or something beforehand. So like it's really strange. If the music starts just as you're starting to defuse, then you probably won't have it. That's really the only way I can explain it. But yeah, it was still a much better CT half from Gambit than they had up against Valiance. Or Valiance. They only had 5 rounds, I believe, on their CT side up against Valiance. Ended up getting 10 on their T side, so swapping over there now with 9 already on the board. In a decent position, especially if they pick up this pistol round. This is a crucial one for Avangar to go ahead and keep themselves in this game. Otherwise, Gambit are going to reach 12 before we see the guns coming out. And then it's going to be a pretty long road ahead for Avangar. By no means impossible, but they want to make it as easy for themselves as they can. So here we go, the action is commencing. Doji picking up a smoke and the Molotov. And over on the CT side, it's Kickard to sacrifice down to get the fuse kit instead of Kevlar. And it looks like it's a bit of a B stack coming in from the CT side. Passive one as well. They leave one player in towards the back of Checkers and also one up close towards Vent. Playing right underneath it. At the moment from Gambit, it's just a bit of a contact play. They've gone ahead and got their control in towards middle. Spamming the connector, making sure no one could peek them. And they have this control now to work with, but James looking a bit tempted to try and peek in. That could be dangerous indeed. Spots out a Dren making his way in towards connector and calls for the help from Kickard, who does go ahead and claim his life. So quick man advantage now being put in favor of Avangar. Exactly what they need. But of course it is currently a full A retake setup. With that defuse getting the smoke, they're happy enough to go for it. And also with the man advantage. And as we can see, Gambit, they've at least made the right decision. They are going to make their way onto the A bomb site. Should do so with ease, get the bomb planted. Probably default. I don't think they're going to be able to get it for A main, just in case anyone pushed up CT wall. But then again, actually, I believe Mo is in towards highway, so decent enough after plant now for Gambit, but it's not going too well. Prison and Fitch already claiming one each, as it's all left onto Doji and Mir. Can they pull it off? They have a Molotov to try and play a bit of time on the bomb, but that smoke really does make things extra difficult. As I said as well, the bomb not being directly planted for them, I believe it is on default. That Molotov's going to have to try and hold that off for quite a while, but I don't think it's going to happen. Defuse already coming in, and the Molotov isn't going to be able to take him down, nor really do a lot of damage. Only Doji remains. Seven for Avangar, 2 rounds now in the difference. Bomb plant at least came in for Gambit, so they can go ahead and just eco into this one. Get the rifles out into the next round. Few upgraded pistols at least, but not much else. Looking for some damage, that will be their main priority. The hope for Gambit in this round is to just get that bomb down if possible. Without it, their buy won't be spectacular. They'll get $1,900, of course. Hobbit will still be a little bit low to get the full buyout. Everyone will get the rifles, but they'll be lacking in terms of the utility. So, bomb plant would be nice, get the extra $800. But let's see if they're going to be able to find it, because they are up against 3 rifles and a couple of SMGs. And without Kevlar, it's a perfect position for Avangar to just try and really clean this one up as easy as they can. They don't want to lose any players. Let the SMGs frag out and build up economy, especially James, of course. You see, he doesn't really invest too much. He doesn't even buy up any utility, really. Keeps a lot of money in the bank, so he can get that off out into the first gun round. And with an A retake setup, the rifle's just going to be given a very easy opportunity. Long range. easy couple of kills for Kickert, but eventually he is traded back. And they find the bomb plant, though. Doesn't look like it's really going to be allowed, as it is Fitch to finish it off. You're doing a pretty good job, Caston. Keep it up. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. He's talking about the Gambit thing. Was it Kane who was the coach for Gambit at the time? Can't remember exactly, but yeah, another gun round coming in for Gambit now. Or the first gun round of the half, rather. But as I said, not perfect. They do have a couple of weaker weaponries. They have that with Galil. Not a lot of utility. But I guess when you have players going aggressive like that, they're going to be given the opportunities to actually claim the opening frags either way. It was a very passive round. I guess expecting some SMGs to be carried over from Avangar, and that they'd maybe try and look to try and push forward, rather. Perfect timing from Adren. Almost lines them up on highway. They know there's at least one more player on this A-bomb side. I think they knew Kickert was over here as well. So with the two-man advantage, probably just going to slow it down for a couple of moments, make the decision about where they want to go, and just make sure they stick together, because if they find trades from this point forward, it should be a pretty easy round. Adren left lurking as well and towards Connector. Does a good job in finding at least one and delaying the rotate. Fitch being the last man standing with his position known in towards heaven. He's in a very difficult position, although he does a good job to find that first frag. And I think he may have heard the steps of Doshia coming in from behind. Gets the headshot on towards him, leaving it all onto Mir now to try and save this one for Gambit. And he does in the end, but it was close. The spam coming in through the underneath of heaven. Gets the kill eventually. If Fitch wasn't already tagged up quite heavily there, that could have been very doable. Worth noting that Fitch is actually fragging really well right now, 21-14, up against his former teammates, of course. Played for them after Zeus was, well, after Zeus left the roster, rather. So, looking to try and impress, and that's exactly as he's doing. Fitch actually did have a great performance when he first joined Gambit. I think the main complaint was the fact that his playstyle was a little bit predictable, especially for the top level. He kind of had his set playstyle that he'd stick to, knew how to play it fairly smart, but once the opponents knew what he was doing, they put some time into looking to how he was playing, and he was apparently just pretty easy to counter. I remember, for example, on Train, I believe he played up close to Pop Dog quite a lot. There we go, full eco from Avangar. Already losing one player, and a second to be dropped as well from Adren, who just continues to find frags in these past couple of rounds. Oh, not good for Crizzen. I heard him just, I could see him just looking to try and step out and go after those steps in B main. Didn't realize there was a player in towards Checkers. Good work by Buster though. Gets a couple of kills at least. That's a bit of damage to be connected. 11-8. Gambit leading by 3. As now Avangar get back onto the buy. Although it's not perfect. They have the op. They should have... Oh, they actually have a double op setup. What does Crizzen have, though? That's the main question. Yeah, he's just looked down to a CZ, so I guess that and the FAMAS are the only weaknesses, and also the fact that they, of course, don't have all that much utility. James has a decent amount, as does the Fitch. It's the double op setup that we'll look towards to really get the brunt of the work done in this round, and actually we see a very aggressive push coming in towards A main already. One jumping up on top of the boxes. He is the one that falls, but Fitch as well, of course, also got aggressive. And goes ahead and immediately trades it out. So, quick 1-for-1 in towards A main. Does normally tend to favour the T side, but with Mo being extremely low, I think Avangar will be pretty happy with what they were able to find. Here we go. Just under 50 seconds remaining. Gambit coming to a decision about where they want to go. Buster, oh, doesn't quite connect the second shot there. A little bit of inaccuracy after the jump, of course. But it was a nice trade, at least, to be found from Krizen. And also Doja being slowed down on his rotate, as suddenly it's a 3-on-2 with a couple of players being damaged up on the Gambit side. Means it's probably going to be an easy finish off from Avangar in this round. A 9th round looking to be found, unless Mo can pull off a massive 1v3, which I don't think is going to happen. And Fitch just continue to aggress, is going to find themselves that final kill. 11-9. Gambit still leading by 2, of course. But Avangar doing a good job to actually be able to claim that one. And with the damage they were able to do in the previous, it is a position where Gambit are going to be forced down to an eco, averaging just around $2,000. So not really too much to be purchased up some upgraded pistols. But actually, just as I say that, Mo goes straight onto the CZ, gets the Kevlar in full utility, and Adren joins them as well. Everyone else also invests a decent amount. So a bit of a quasi-buy, I suppose. 3 of the players keeping some money, as it's going to be a very quick A-play coming in. And actually, it's gone pretty well so far. Lots of damage being found in their favor. Kickart being taken down low. Mir, no fear at all as he just runs straight through the flames. Takes down Kickart to go ahead. Give them at least a bomb plant in this round. A small victory. A bonus to be found for Gambit. That's with an AK now in the hands of Doja. They do have a bit of an opportunity to try and get something done. Let's see. Can they manage to pull this round off? That's the main question. As I said, Doja with a rifle going to have to get the majority of the work done. Gets himself a quick headshot on towards James. Eventually does fall in return. And there's Krizen as well coming in alongside Fitch to clean up with the rifles. As Hobbit is all that remains. Very low on health. And he should be spotted in just a moment. As we do see Fitch close it out. So 10 rounds for Avangar. They reach double digits. There's 1 in the difference. Question is, the Gambit go for the force buy here? Because they can... We know the CIS buys. We know what they like. Adren and Mo, I was going to say, probably just going to go for CZs and also get themselves a full set of utility. And I think that is what they're going for. No, actually, Adren goes for the Galil and Mo goes for the Dig. Still a pistol to get the utility onto Mo. And of course, Mir and Hobbit also have a decent amount. So it's a pretty solid buy from Gambit. They know they've done a lot of damage in that previous round. And it's a position where if they do win this one, then Avangar are going to be stuck straight down to an eco again. Maybe even a double eco. So bit of an awkward position, but good little wallbang coming in early on. Hobbit taken down to 27. May think about trading that AK over, and yeah, he does give it to Mo. I'd like to see Mo give that to Adren instead and take the Galil in return. Just because Mo, of course, more of an opper. Not bad with rifles by any means, but Adren, we know how incredible he can play. Cover by Kickart right there. That could have been extremely awkward. But here we go. 4-on-5. Gambit still just continuing to try and pressure towards all sides of the map and not really having too much success. Doja able to go ahead and claim the life of 1 at least. That's only Fitch so far who's down. With a man disadvantage and a couple of players being tagged up, it is still extremely difficult for the Gambit side, although Doja, he's creeped out, may be able to catch James off guard on the forklift. Needs his teammates to give him the assistance. Don't know why Auto Director is watching someone on the B side of the map. That does not make sense. But here we go. Some contact being taken. Auto Director went straight back to Krizen after I swapped myself and turned it back on. Because it loves me. They need to get a move on though. Very little time left now for Gambit. I don't know if they're even going to be able to get this one down. If Kickart can just waste a bit of time alongside James, which is exactly what they're doing, just staying alive. Staying alive. But yeah, worked out. Got the kills in the end. 11-11. Gambit struggling now a bit on this T side. As I said, being reset. The money isn't too bad. They get $1,900 into the next round, so they will be able to buy for themselves. But they're going to have to go for the 1 eco here. Allow for Avangar to likely claim the lead, which is not something I was expecting after we seen early on Gambit having that quick 6-0 start. And the pause has been removed. That had to have been a tactical pause from Gambit. I don't have the info, sadly, but I'd presume it was. This is definitely the time that they need to go ahead and call one. I'll have a check and see if actually we were given the info this time. I don't think so. No, so we don't know exactly what the pause was for, but I wouldn't say anything other than tactical, as at this point the game's slowly beginning to slip away from the grasp of Gambit. They need to begin to step it up, and of course, this round probably not going to be the one that they're able to do it in. Having to just go for mostly default pistols, some upgraded P250s at least, and also one upgraded CZ onto Mirror. Looks to be just a pretty quick B play. They have that one flash as well for Hobbit to use to try and actually blind up the opponents. But it doesn't seem like it was really very successful at all. Having Buster in towards the back of Checkers, he was able to just peek out as soon as the flash went off. And it's an easy cleanup as all 5 players remain alive for Avangar. Double op setup as well from Avangar still in play. So Buster and Jame, we know both of them are very capable. We've seen Buster have some nice rounds earlier on in this half. Jame, surprisingly, hasn't really had the opportunity to do a lot in this game. But of course, Avangar, they have gotten themselves into the lead either way. And in this round, no ops available for Gambit. They weren't able to get the bomb plant down, so just onto the rifles. But they do at least have that utility to use like that. They have the Molotovs to flush the players out from the vents. Sadly, though, they didn't actually have anyone pushed up in towards the sunroom. I think that's what people call it usually. I call it toxic for some reason, but a lot of people don't know what that means. But yeah, if they had a player in the sunroom, they could have catched them dropping out of vent, maybe get a kill or at least some damage. But as I say that, it's over towards the middle where Fitch gets himself into a lot of trouble. 2 Molotovs in towards the sandbags, taken down by a quick headshot from Adren, as either way he would have fallen. There was nothing he could do. I was trying to maybe just take one with him. But it's the man advantage for Gambit. And it's in a very crucial round. They need this one. Let's see if Avangar can manage to actually recover this one, as pretty soon Gambit do need to make a decision. Time beginning to run extremely low, as there's only 20 seconds now left on the clock. This is going to be really difficult. They need to get onto this site and get the bomb planted ASAP, and it's just not happening. Krizen alongside Jame and Kicker, they lock it down. This round is over and done with. Mo is all alone. He doesn't have the time to get these kills and also the bomb plant, as he's finished off by Krizen, who finds a hat-trick. 13-11. And Gambit again. It's going to be forced down to an eco. No bomb plant coming in. Their money's okay since they have the loss bonus built up, so they may be able to buy if they want, but it will be mostly just the rifles. Mirror going to be likely forced down to a pistol or something along those lines, maybe a Galil if he wants. But they even decide to force buy, because they can just go for the one eco, allow Avangar to take 14, and then play to try and pull it back. If they do force her and don't manage to find a bomb plant, then the next round would be a little bit awkward, as they maybe would be forced down to just pistols and Kevlar. So they themselves trying to come to a conclusion about what they should do, as a pause has been called. Look at all the love hearts. They're beautiful. I feel like they've just been putting these graffitis down at the start of every round. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. 4 little love hearts from Krizen. 1 for each of his teammates. whose map? This is Avangar's map pick. Gambit chose overpass, and if needed, train will be the decider. Here we go though. Pause finally being removed, and the action is going to resume. Gambit do actually just go for the pistols and Kevlar, so not going to invest everything into this round. A little bit of a quasi-buy. As their hope is to just try and get some damage done. Obviously have a chance to try and win the round. And a very quick V-play comes in. Just an immediate rush over towards this side of the map. Quick trade's been returned, but it does go mostly in favor of Avangar, rather. Apologies, Auto-Director wasn't working for some reason. But there we go. Fitch with the final kill. Picks himself 3 in that round, and is now currently sitting at 29-17 on the scoreboard, leading by quite a decent margin in terms of the frags, not only on his own team, but throughout the entire server. You can see the closest player being on 19, or rather closest players, as you see both Mo and Mir with that amount of frags. But he's 10 ahead. So here we go. A buy round again for Gambit. And if they don't make this one work, then it'll be map point for Avangar, and they'll be working with a bit of an awkward buy in this next round. If they find a bomb plant here, then it won't be a problem, of course. They don't want to concede this round, ideally. Bit of damage early on, going slightly in favor of Avangar. Nothing really too substantial at all. Made over the boost on a small amount. As we can see though, Gambit just want to go for that mid control. Surprisingly, I was gonna say only put one player over the boost, but they did have Hobbit coming out of lower mid as well, working together to try and pressure that player over towards the white box and force him back. Quasi buy, it's like a half buy. It's when you only like spend what money you have left over. You spend enough so that you can guess something, but you still have enough to buy into the next round. I think it may have been Sadicus they used to say. I don't know if he still does. He used to say Jaden round, I think. I don't know where I heard quasi buy, but it stuck with me. Anyway though, let's see what Gambit can get done, because again, time running really low. They've begun to run the clock down, and they hadn't really found anything up until now, and eventually they get that 1-for-1 trade. Just as I say that though, of course, Jame on the op gonna be able to go ahead and find one too. And I believe even connected that damage on towards Hobbit right there. Only problem is, of course, that no one player is creeped in towards the connector position, so they have to be cautious of the CT spawn. And in the meantime, Doja is just cleaning up the A bomb site with the assistance of Mo. Only Buster remains now. Gambit gonna find the bomb plant. They did have the man advantage, but Doja goes for a little bit of a mad jump peek, and oh my god, so close for Buster. He knows the position of the final player now, who's actually gonna try and just hide back towards quad. Mo playing this a little bit, this one a little bit safer now. Buster not being 100% aware of his position anymore, has to be quite cautious. Has the smoke to work with. But time already beginning to tick away. And as we can see, Mo has already traded over towards that M4. Looking to make things a little bit easier for himself. And oh, okay, never mind. The Auto-Director went third person just as Buster headshots him. And with the defuse kit, he has enough time to get the defuse. That was a strange play for Mo right there. Wasn't really needed for him to peek out. Could have continued to just waste the time until the bomb was tapped. And as long as the bomb was tapped once, then he easily would have been able to just go ahead and just peek out and take the kill. And even if he didn't get the kill, there wouldn't have been time. So, yeah, just a strange round. Apologies, guys. I'm casting and observing while running the stream. And Auto-Director seems to not want to work up points. So, I do have to do some observing myself. Potentially the final round of the map though. Gambit. Can they make this one work? All rifles, that's all they have available. Hobbit going to be able to just push straight up mid and find one. But as we see the trades come back in, the op's immediately going to return on it as a 4v3 is found. And with that, I think Gambit probably just going to look to try and commit straight over towards the A-bomb site. Doji again being the first one to try and head out. He's been really just focusing on this door position for basically the entire half so far. Ran up close on Forklift, needs to get this kill if they don't have any form of a chance, but it's not going to happen. Mo is all alone, and he'll be finished off by the up in the hands of Jame. 16-11. Avangar go ahead and claim themselves the first map. And they do so in a pretty convincing fashion when you look at the fact that, of course, they were down quite heavily at one point. It was 6-0 over in favor of Gambit, and even when Avangar finally got that first round on the board, they were instantly reset and went down 8-1, I believe. So a little bit of an awkward game for Gambit. It was the map choice of Avangar, of course. So coming up next, it is Overpass, and Gambit going to feel a lot more comfortable there. But let's see if they can make it count. Will they be able to get themselves back into this one and take it on over towards Train? We'll find out pretty soon, guys. We are going to go ahead and just take a quick break. And when I come back, we are actually going to be joined by Dinko as well. So we will be having a bit of a duo cast for you guys.
Body aches to be satisfied.